Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to A Reseller's Journey. Here is your host, ebayjoey.
Welcome to A Reseller's Journey Season 3. I am your host, ebayjoey. Today's guest is having success in the reselling game. He is reselling shoes to basketball cards and anything in between, representing O-Town. He goes by the name EccoFlips, but his buddies call him Cody. Welcome and thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Joey.
Hey, man, I'm excited. I say this every interview, and my wife gives me a hard time, but hey, we went back and forth with the scheduling, man, but we made it.
Yeah, we made it. That's all that matters.
So, how's your day going today, man?
It's pretty good. Got off work and then listed a few items.
Okay, nice. Are you are you working full time or part time?
Right now I'm working part-time and I go to school full-time. So
Okay, perfect, man. Well, that's awesome. I think being a reseller, I always told myself like if I went back to college, I'd rather be a reseller than have a regular job.
yeah, it's getting to the point where I'm making I'd say almost double from when
Yeah.
I'm work at my job. To be honest, I work at McDonald's right now, so
Okay.
it's not like a lot of income or anything, but the reselling is quickly becoming double, if not triple that. So
You know what? Working at McDonald's, man, I used to listen to. I was listening to. I think it was Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he was saying that if he were to get a job, he would go work at McDonald's. I believe it was him, just because you learn the structure of a corporation, and you see like how they implement and how they use the labor to just do different things. It's really a learning thing rather than, it could be a career thing for some people, but you can definitely learn a lot.
yeah, 100%. Like there's a reason why there's a McDonald's on like almost every corner.
Yeah, definitely. And since you work there, man, why is it that the Frappuccino machine is always down, man? Is it because of the product or it's just the machine?
The Frappuccino machine, it's not that bad. I think the ice cream machine
Yeah.
is usually out like a lot, and I actually maintenance that, so at our store it's like never down, but
Uh,
people just don't know how to maintenance it pretty much. You got a lot of new people coming in.
and they jack it all up, man. Well, let's get started, man, with this interview. So, how'd you come up with your name, Echo Flips?
So, for EccoFlips, there's this game that I played when I was about like I really like video games, and back when I was like 8 or 10 years old, there's this game called Echo the Dolphin, and it was a pretty interesting game. If the viewers want to look it up, they can. But I just thought like the storyline was pretty interesting, and I thought like dolphin flipping, and I also like echo is like echo 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 like it repeats over and over again.
Yeah.
I kind of I see that like in reselling, I want to do something and be able to repeat it over and over again and have like success in doing that. So
Okay. And has that been working out for you? The echo 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 part of it, just kind of like, you know, was it like just repeat, 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 and then you get the same result?
yeah, I mean I'd say it's more about like doing something that's working and then just keep on doing that over and over again and improving on it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So where are you based out of, Cody?
So I'm based in Orlando, Florida. The competition here is pretty heavy,
Yeah.
but it's fun. It's great.
You know what? I've interviewed a lot of people from Orlando that came on the show, and they say the same thing. But I think that's how you get better, Cody. When I used to play pickup basketball at the park, there was always two courts. One court was like the A court and B was the B court. And I was like, man, I want to make my way on the A court because you get better playing better competition. And I think with reselling, when you're around, competition and people that are killing it, that's either going to motivate you where you'll kill it, or I think it could do the opposite and discourage you.
Yeah, I think that's completely true. I think the competition does help a lot. I've heard stories of people or they'll move to Florida when they're a reseller just for the competition so they can get better. So I don't think it's necessarily a downside living in Florida.
Yeah, man, and I think it's a big state. You know, I think the economy seems like it's really good for my company. Florida is a big market for us in the cabinet industry, even with granites, a lot of senior living. So, I mean, that's good because you want to be in a state where the inventory is constantly coming in and coming out. So that gives you a better chance of getting some good finds out there.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So, were you born and raised in Orlando?
I've been here for about I'd say like 6.5, 7 years.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I moved around a lot. I went to like 6 or 7 different schools. So yeah.
So, where were you born then?
I was born in Louisiana.
Okay, so you made your way up into
Yeah,
to the
I made
to Florida.
I made my way all over the country, and then I've been in Florida ever since. So
So since you're going to college out there, do you want to stay out there, or do you feel like once you complete your education that you'll end up moving somewhere else?
I think Florida's a really good area for reselling, and I plan on
Mhm.
reselling for a pretty long time. So I think
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah. Do you want to go full time with reselling?
Uh, I I don't know yet because
Yeah.
I part of me is like, okay, that might take like the fun out of it, but then
Yeah.
part of me is like, it might just be really good. Like I might
Hmm.
just completely love it, and that's all I want to do for the rest of my life. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good question because I mean, for the people that are listening, they can't see you. I mean, you're a young guy. How old are you?
Uh, I'm gonna turn 21 in like the next 3 or 4 months. So
Okay, awesome, man. But at that age, it's up to you. You can go, full-time career, part-time reselling, and if you don't have any responsibilities, like as far as kids, you could probably do both 40 and 40,
yeah,
if you wanted to. So
yeah.
you have the ball is in your court, Cody. So what motivated you to get started in reselling?
Well, I just I don't know. I just wanted a little bit of money, and I always felt bad that it's like I'm under my parents' roof, and I
Mhm.
wanted to be able to like just provide enough for myself and plan for later in life. So that's kind of just why I started reselling.
Okay. So how long you been doing it now?
Um, I'd say I've only been like seriously doing it for probably 6 or 7 months,
Mhm.
but before then, I started out with FBA Amazon Books.
Mm,
You like scan books at the thrift store and whatnot, and
yeah.
I liked it, but it seemed pretty robotic for me. And ever since I've been doing eBay, and I've been loving eBay.
Okay. So you started with the FBA, Amazon, and then you kind of, wanted to test, different platforms. You started with eBay. Why do you like eBay more than the Amazon?
I think I just really like the hands-on, like you have to pack every single item and you're not restricted as much. So like anything I see, I can't be like, oh, can I sell this on Amazon? Can I not sell this on
Yeah.
Amazon? Anything I can sell on eBay.
Well, not everything. There's some that they'll file some claims against you. I think there's like I think Johnson and Johnson is one item that you can sell
Really?
on eBay.
I
There's a list out there. What's that cell phone case that people Autobox?
Otterbox?
Otterbox, yeah. Now I heard you have to be careful with that unless you're like a distributor.
Wow. The only thing that I heard that you can't sell on eBay is like some medical grade equipment you can't sell on eBay. They'll restrict your account. I've
Okay.
seen people get banned for that or restricted for like a few months.
Okay. Yeah. I think people that are listening, you definitely want to be careful. On part of the community that we're a part of, Cody. I mean, you could list something, and everybody's pretty much well informed. Where they'll tell you like, hey, they might do some like fake claims on that, so you might want to be careful. I think I saw a soccer jersey recently that someone posted. I think it was like a European football club, and someone was saying that if you list that on eBay, they're gonna file a claim against you because some people don't want you selling their stuff online.
Yeah.
So what platforms are you selling on, Cody?
Right now, I'd say I basically kind of put Amazon on hold, and I'm going full into eBay, and I'm just
Hmm.
trying to learn uh just eBay. I listened to the Hustle Bee, and he was basically
Yeah.
saying that like he really wanted to learn one platform and make sure that he was buying really good items before
Hmm.
he started branching into others. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do. And then after I think I mastered eBay, I'm gonna go into Goat and Macari.
Yeah, I hear good things about Mercari. For me, Cody, I just don't have the time, with
Yeah.
the wife and the kids and the job, but I do balance the Go, StockX. I feel like they're very similar, and then also eBay, a little bit of Amazon and Posh. But I think to add one more would just be a little too much for me.
Yeah.
But but I do like your way of thinking because that's how I was when I first started. Whereas like I said, I want to really understand everything about eBay, the logistics, the shipping, the fees, the PayPal. And I think once you become a master, it's good to move on. But I think sometimes people make the mistake, they might move too quick. And then
Yeah.
so, earlier you were talking about that you started with the FBA. How was the profit margins with the FBA books compared to like the items that you're selling now on eBay?
I'd say with the FBA books, the profits were pretty juicy.
Okay.
Like, so you'd go to a thrift store and probably scan for like maybe 30 minutes, an hour, depending on how fast you were. And
Hmm.
sometimes you'll go out without anything, and then sometimes you might find two or three books that are worth over $80 that you paid $1 for. So
Okay.
it's really hit or miss. It really depends. But I'd say for eBay, if you're doing thrifted items, I do thrifting and retail arbitrage. But with thrifted items, I mean the profits are there. I
Hmm.
don't think it's necessarily bad. It's whichever one you're more motivated to do, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you feel that with the books that you sell, the juicy profits, and you're scanning for 30 minutes to an hour, is almost the same rush of walking into a Ross or Burlington where it's like they call it the thrill of the hunt? Does it kind of feel the same?
I think the reason why I stopped doing books was I felt like it was way too robotic, like it was like a job, like mind off. And some people want
Okay.
that, but for me, I didn't want that. I wanted something to where I'm looking for the thrill of the hunt. That's what I really like. So that's why I go
Okay.
to Ross and like Marshalls and whatnot now.
Okay. Were you using the Amazon Seller app to scan the books, or did you have that little device like that Bluetooth connects that scans books?
Yeah, I had the whole thing. I had what is it? It's basically Scout IQ and the little barcode scanner.
Okay. Cool, man. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, if you felt it was the right time to pivot in your business, you're the
Yeah.
shot caller, man. You make the call.
The moment because I had like a gut feeling like, oh man, I don't really like this anymore. And then the next month after I started doing eBay, I made more that month on eBay than I did doing books in like 3 months.
Okay. So there. I think you got your answer right away then.
Yeah.
And have you been able to sustain that profit growth?
Yeah, I've been growing over the months. It's hard because I do go to school full time and I work part
Yeah.
time, but uh, I'm definitely seeing growth.
Nice, man. Yeah, I think I'm seeing it too, man. I think you posted your 90 days, and then recently you shared one of your goals, with the podcast that I do, another segment. So I think you're definitely you're on your way, man, for success.
Yeah, thanks.
So what does your sourcing schedule look like? And let's talk about the schedule before the COVID, with all the restrictions. So you're a full-time student, you work part-time at McDonald's, and then you're a part-time reseller. Take us through like your sourcing schedule, what it would
My
be.
sourcing schedule, so some weeks I'll have a lot of like homework to do, and some weeks I
Mhm.
won't have much homework to do. When I was taking courses at the campus, basically I'd show up and take morning classes, and right after my classes ended, I would do all of the homework as quick as possible for my classes, get everything done, and then
Mhm.
immediately after that, go out and source at least 2 times a day. 2 times, I mean, sorry, 2 times
Yeah.
in the weekdays, and then on the weekends I work, and so it was kind of hard. But if I wasn't too tired, I'd also go out on the weekends and the afternoons. So
Okay.
basically sourcing like 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. So it was school first, complete the homework, and then
Yeah.
second source, and you balance the sourcing with your work schedule.
Yeah, so this is more of like the extra time that I have, I
Mm-hmm.
spend reselling. So that's just kind of how I see it. So school first, then work, then reselling.
Yeah, and then are you mixing it up with like the thrift, and then also with the retail arbitrage?
I'd say for me, I've been trying to become as time efficient as possible. So I feel
Hmm.
like if you hit up the most stores possible, you'll have the greatest chance to find like quality goods. So I'd hit up Tractor Supply. I'd
Oh
hit up
wow.
I'd hit up local thrift stores. I'd hit up Ross, Marshalls, Burlingtons. I'd even hit up like the Walmart clearance, sometimes even like CVS. I kind of
Okay.
there's profit everywhere. You just gotta look for it.
Yeah, definitely. And there's also those bolos, where there's a trendy item, and sometimes you got to mix it in. And
Yeah.
as I like to say, you got to pivot. You got to when to follow the trend, when to get in the market, and then exit the market. So that's good. What did your schedule look like once the restrictions, the COVID hits? Did you go all the? Did you switch to like online arbitrage, or what did you do?
I'd say well, for me, I didn't know what to do because I live with my parents and they're
Yeah.
older, so I didn't want to accidentally like get them sick because of this whole COVID thing. So
Mhm.
I joined. I don't want to like promote a group or anything, so I'm not going to say
Yeah.
the name, but I joined like a reseller group where they give you like bolos, online
Yeah.
arbitrage. They tell you when like shoes are dropping. So I'd say I just
Yeah.
started doing more like online arbitrage and
Yeah.
listing everything that I haven't listed before.
Okay. And did you feel that that helped your reselling business out once you joined a group like that?
I'd say it's good if you don't know at first, but I
Okay.
feel like in the next like 2 or 3 months, I might just leave the group because I already know like the information. I'd say for like different paid like Discord groups and whatnot,
Mhm.
you can get the same information on different Instagram accounts, but
Mhm.
I think it's definitely beneficial to join one for a few months.
Yeah.
Just so you know like, oh, this is where they get their information from. You follow the
Yeah.
different Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts, and you find the deals yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I joined two of them, and I was very curious. You hear everybody talk about it, and I finally said, okay, well, I'm gonna make it my goal and try to join. So I joined two, and they're completely different. They do different things, but I think it's you see a different side of reselling compared to the people that just go into the shoes, and we're talking like Nike, the RA side. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, man. It really is. I'm really excited to see what kind of bolos they put out for Q4 when it's around the holiday time.
Yeah. And sometimes if you find those bolos, you can make pretty good money. Like I didn't know about the mosaic prisms at all. On my
Yeah.
Instagram I talked about it, but basically I went into one Target and I never been in that Target before, and I found
Hmm.
their
Yeah.
it's Zion mosaic prisms, and I spent $500 on them, and I had multiple people offer me uh, within 2 hours to buy all of them for $1,000. So
Yeah. So what'd you end up doing with that? Because I think you said you picked up 9 packs, right? Or 9 boxes.
I have no, I got 25 of them
Okay.
at $20 a piece, and I sold half of them off, so I got all my money back, and
Mm.
now I just listed high, and I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. Are you getting offers right now as we speak?
Um, yeah, some people, but if you list a bit higher, then you just kind of gotta wait for the market. You know what I mean?
The right buyer. So EccoFlips, Echo. What's your business model look like?
Well, for me, since I've been able to live at home and I haven't had too many expenses, I
Mhm.
kind of see this as like a alternate like investment opportunity, sort of like stocks. So I'm not really the guy undercutting on shoes. I usually try to price higher than the
Hmm.
competition and then just wait it out.
So give me an example. Let's say you buy a shoe for $50. How much do you want to sell it at?
I want to sell it at least $100, more like 110, 120.
Okay, up in that range, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So nothing less. So you don't want like these 15, $20 returns. You want something a little bit more meaty.
No, yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna front $50, I want to try
Yeah.
to get $50 back.
Okay. Hey, that's 100% ROI. So how do you manage your inventory? Because I mean, for on we're doing this interview and it goes on YouTube, and I can see the boxes behind you. Are you in the shipping area, the shipping zone?
Everything. So I don't want to burden my family with any of the stuff that I'm doing. So I have
Okay.
everything in my room. All of
Okay.
the stuff that I store, all of I have tubs. You can't see, but I have tubs to the
Yeah.
ceiling. I have my bed on the floor. I have my shipping supplies behind me. It's
Nice.
all kind of meshed into one. So I'd like to have a bigger space, but I think it's good to start small because once
Hmm.
you're able to manage like a small space, it becomes a lot easier to manage like a bigger space. I've heard it's good to grow from a small area than have like a large area and be very inefficient with it. So you really
Yeah,
have to get efficient with this. It's a 10 by 15 room. So
it's a good
yeah.
size. So how are you managing your inventory? So you said you have bins from the floor to the ceiling. What's in those bins and how do you know what's in them?
Um, so every listing I put at the bottom of the listing, I'll put like a SKU,
Hmm.
and each tub has, so like say I have clear tub one, I put CT1, and then in the listing I'd say at the very bottom I put CT1, so I know it's in the clear tub one.
Okay.
And that's basically just it. And then you have clear tub two, clear tub three, just really
N-
basic.
Now, do you mess with anything like Excel wise to inventory everything, or is it just you buy something, you list it, you take the pictures, and then you write your notes?
Um, I probably should do more with Excel,
Yeah.
but right now I just track the profits. So when I sell something, I'll track what I bought it for, the
Hmm.
amount of profit that I made on the item, and that's basically the extent of it right now.
Yeah, and how's your business doing during the COVID crisis?
I I think it's been doing better than ever. I think it's like
Yeah.
opened up my mind to a lot of things that you wouldn't like normally think about before.
Hmm. And what are those things?
Like there's just different opportunities right now. Like you got
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hair cutters right next to you. People are going crazy with pools right now.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of different online arbitrage opportunities with like Nordstrom Rack and
Mm.
like Adidas eBay store and a few things like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, it really is, man. I think that's one thing that I learned as well, very similar to you, where there's not just money in sneakers. There's money in other areas, but sometimes it just depends what you want to focus on in life. And if you want to focus and be the best sneaker reseller, then that's what you will become. But if you want to
yeah,
diversify and have, different exposure to different items, as long as you have, you're looking with those set of eyes, you're going to find it. And I think that's one thing that I realized, like, man, there's money in these trends. There really is.
yeah, there really is.
Yeah. And then sometimes, a sale with the trendy item could also help you with selling your sneakers, so you're bringing different types of audience to your page.
Yeah, that's true. That when you have more sales, I really do feel like the algorithm is in your favor. Like some days I won't sell something, and then like the
Yeah.
next day I'll sell like seven things just because like one or two things sold in the
Yeah.
morning.
Now, do you think that's the algorithm working, or do you feel that that's just coincidence that that person needs that item that you have?
I honestly I feel like it's the algorithm because sometimes uh you'll get like for my store at least I'll get
Mm.
like seven sales at one time and it's just very odd. Except I'd say there's definitely more traffic on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays because
Hmm.
that's when people are usually shopping online.
Yeah, I agree. Like when it comes to the weekend, I do expect to get more sales than I would normally during the week because of that. So I definitely would agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, so we were talking yesterday before we did this interview, just kind of scheduling and making sure we have the right time and everything lines up. But we were talking about replenishables, Cody. Can you tell the audience more about what you feel about replenishables being part of your business?
Yeah, I feel like replenishables are very important, but people don't really talk about them too much, maybe because
Hmm.
they're they're actually really good to know. So if you don't already know what a replenishable is, it's basically like an item that you can obtain very easily. So like say Dollar Tree for example. There's
Hmm.
some items that you can get from Dollar Tree and you can sell on eBay. And they're very easy to obtain and they're always going to be at Dollar Tree.
Hmm.
So basically you can just keep on finding these items and then you keep on selling them forever. So I think little things like that, even if it's like $2 profit, $5 profit here, it adds up over time, and I think that's what really makes the difference over a very long time.
Now, you talk about the $2, $5 profit, and for some people that might be not worth it because it could be a lot of work. But how many items do you feel the replenishable you have to own in order for it to be considered a replenishable?
I think so for my replenishables, I've I've bought one or two and
Mhm.
I've waited to see if they sell, and if they sell, I go out and buy more. And if they keep on selling, I just stockpile up more because I know they're gonna sell eventually. So I would
Hmm.
say that'd probably be the best course of action is it if you already know, oh, this item's selling a lot, just go out and get more of it so you don't have to spend the time to go out and get it. You get what I'm saying? So you just kind of
Yeah,
stock up on it.
yeah. So for the replenish, so do you have any replenishables at the moment, or you're just is that something that you're looking to add into your business?
I have a few replenishables. There's multiple videos online about people going to Costco, what is it, BJ's, it's basically Costco, and like Dollar Tree. You can, and even Walmart, like you can get replenishables anywhere. The problem is you have to really go and scan every single item at the store, and sometimes you're scanning for a while just to figure out a replenishable that's only like you spend $3 to make $3 after all the shipping and the fees. So, I mean, I still think that's important because if you have a lot of those and you're already
Hmm.
packing other things and it doesn't take that much time, you get you get $3 here, $3 there, $5 here. It adds up.
Yeah, I like the idea personally. I think for me, the challenging part is just finding what makes sense for my business, and my time to do it. So it's like I got to
Yeah.
go to work, spend time with the family, and then, okay, do I want to package 10 items that are only $3 profit? And for some people, it's worth it. But I think for me, I'm probably more concerned about how much does the product weigh? Does it need special packaging? So I'm currently looking for to add replenishables in my business, but those are the things that I'm looking at. Like I would prefer lightweight. I can send it in a poly bag. Does the poly bag have to have bubbles in it, to protect the item?
I
So, yeah.
I completely agree with that, and I've had that's one thing is you have to think if you have all these different items, there's like different ways to ship an item. So for a lot of my replenishables, I put them in it's like the it's like the mailer, but it's the bubble mailer, and I
Okay.
basically try to fit as much as I can in the bubble mailer and make sure it's packed very well. And I have multiple replenishables that I can just put in that bubble mailer.
But that bubble mailer is 750.
Yeah, so you just have to take that into account for what you're selling.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: without giving your replenishables away, I think if people want to know, I think they can do their own research and find it. But how much how much profit do you want from that replenishable? that you send in the poly bag? Like, what's your goal?
I'd say my goal is to whatever I invest, double my
Yeah.
money on it. So if
After
I
it's all said
spend,
and done.
so if I spend $1 on it, uh, or if I spend like $5 on it, I'd want to make $5 back after the
Okay.
shipping and after the fees and after everything
Yeah.
else.
And for the audience to kind of get an idea of how much a replenishable might cost, because you do have some, what is like the least expensive replenishable that you do have, and then what's like the most expensive one that you have, just to kind of get an idea?
Right now, my replenishables are mainly very low cost. They're usually under $10 and like that they cost me, and I sell them for around $15 to $20. So it's not like a huge profit, but it's still
Mm.
some decent like lunch money.
Yeah. And how often are you fulfilling these orders?
Um, well, it depends on the replenishable and how often it sells, but I'd say it's just every, I don't know, like maybe like 5, 6 times a week. So it's basically like an extra like $90 a month, $100 a
Hmm.
month.
Okay. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. I think if you can just build on it, and like you said, you're ready going to the post office, it's a
Yeah,
no-brainer.
yeah. I'm already doing this. I might as well try to min max it a little
Mm.
bit. And it only takes a few seconds for me to pack. So
Yeah, you know what's funny for me, when I have a sale and I know I already got to go to the post office or the UPS store, if I get an offer and it's probably something that, I probably would say no to if I was not going to the post office, but since I'm going, I was like, might as well get rid of this. And so sometimes I make decisions based on, am I already going?
I I think we all have that feeling sometimes, Joey, especially when you
Yeah.
only have like a few packages going out. Like,
Yeah.
should I accept it?
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So Cody, earlier you talked about you're going to college. What's your major? What's
Uh,
your background?
right now, I honestly don't really know what I like want to do in life, whether I want to do
Yeah.
reselling full time or have like a different profession. But right now, I'm just getting a business degree in business uh administration. So yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. What's your favorite sneaker? What do you like to wear when you're sourcing?
Um, I'm not really like I sell sneakers, but I'm not a
Yeah.
really sneakerhead. I wear like
Yeah.
$20 Ralph Lauren shoes. I'm pretty
Okay.
lame.
Hey, you just keep it casual. If they're comfortable, they're comfortable.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, were they like was that a Burlington pickup?
I think they always have them at like Marshalls. I think they're like
Yeah.
20 or $25 at Marshalls.
Yeah. What do this is my wife always wants to know, like, what do resellers drive? What do you think would be the perfect car for a reseller? Is it a
Uh,
minivan? Is it a truck?
I I think it's a minivan because you don't have to
Yeah,
worry about like the everything getting like rained on and whatnot. But
right.
yeah. I've seen people do road trips and they have like they'll go across the country finding different like hot items like pools and whatnot. They'll have a
Yeah.
big minivan, and I think that helps to just kind of lug around everything.
Yeah, and it has some power too. But it's interesting to find out, what people source in, because sometimes you can be limited if you drive a small, compact car, or if you drive
Yeah.
like an SUV or a truck, you can throw more stuff in there. So, where can people find you on social media, Cody?
Right now it's just EccoFlips on Instagram, ECCO, and then flips.
Cool, cool. Yeah, people can go check you out. We'll put a link in down below. Who are some of your favorite resellers, or reseller? Like, who do you like in the game right now?
There's a lot of different people that I really love that I learned from. When I first started on eBay, I watched a ton of garage flips. I don't know if you've
Hmm.
heard of his channel before, but
No.
he shows you basically like the basics of like packing different things. And I'd also say Part Time Picker is another person that's really good if you're into eBay and just selling random items from like thrift stores and different miscellaneous things. And then I'd say if you want to do more retail arbitrage, like Hustler Hacks is
Yeah.
really great.
For sure. I was watching the Craigslist. I think, what is he called? The Craigslist Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was watching him, and then there was another gentleman. I think he's from Ohio. The Cincinnati Picker.
Yeah, Cincinnati Picker.
Yeah, and so for me, I feel like that's an area where once we kind of go back to normal and the garage sales, I kind of want to do more garage sales like on the weekend, so I can go with the family and just kind of spend some time together. But there's an opportunity to make some money because at yard sales, man, people will give away a lot of stuff for a good price.
Yard sales are great. I've honestly had the best memories with my family when I was
Yeah.
younger. I'd go to garage sales with them, so I think that's kind of why I like it now.
Yeah. No, it's great, man. Do you use an app when you go garage selling?
I just use the eBay app, and to find the garage sales, I use I think it's like Garage Sale Map Finder or something like that
Okay.
on in like the Play Store. It shows you all the different garage sales, and there's also estate sale finder. Shows you all the estate sales.
Yeah, I've never been to an estate sale, but from like the people I follow on Instagram and a little bit of the YouTube, they say they find some really great stuff at the estate sales.
Estate sales are really amazing. I found some really good stuff at estate sales before. Like I've had estate sales where I went to when I did at like Amazon FBA. There's no other people that went there, and I cleaned up with like $300 profit worth of books, like 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, what do
The
you think people should be paying for books if they're going to do FBA?
uh I wouldn't pay over. I mean, it depends on the book. If it's like an $80 book and you have to pay $10 for it, I mean, it might be worth to pay up, but I wouldn't really pay over like a dollar or two
Yeah.
for the book.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good to know. Any last words? Echo
Um,
flips?
I think that's pretty much it. If
Yeah.
you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I basically just post my finds, and sometimes
Mm.
there's like a hot opportunity for retail arbitrage online. I'll post that. Like
Mhm.
GameStop had some all right deals, and I posted that on my Instagram. And yeah, basically anything that's hot, I'll post on my Instagram just to help other people.
Yeah, for sure. I think you'll let me know what the link is, but you say you do want to post more content on your YouTube page, correct?
Yeah. So on my YouTube, I think I have like 7 or 8 videos right now, and I basically, for the most part, I document my sales so other people can quickly see that, see what I'm selling, and then
Mhm.
if they want to sell similar items, they can.
Okay, cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. I think people were able to learn a lot today, and if they want to do other things that they're not currently doing, I think there's great opportunity out there to do so. So, Echo Flips, thank you for being on the show today, my brother.
Okay, thank you for having me, EJ. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, anytime, man. I'm glad that you were able to come on because you know, it's funny, but Orlando has like Florida in general. I've interviewed the most people, but in California, man, like all the people I know, they don't want to come on the show. They don't want to. They don't want to show people what they look like. They want to stay. I think a lot of SoCal or just California people in general are low key, which I respect. But anybody in California, hit me up. I want to interview you.
Okay.
little little plug. You can find today's guest on Instagram at Echo Flips. You can visit the show's website at A Reseller's Journey, where you can find a link to my Instagram at ebayjoey and the show at A Reseller's Journey. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to subscribe and follow on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Remember, never forget why you started. Peace.